The moustache is calling. Raise funds, save lives. Donate at Movember.com.
Well, November is just a few days away, which means thousands of Canadians will be joining the Movember movement, raising funds and awareness to change the face of men's health in Canada. To tell me more about this year's campaign, I'm joined now by Evan Connor with Movember Canada. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, happy to have you and to chat about this. I mean, it's become such a big movement here in Canada, but for those who might not be as well informed about it, what is Movember and why should people get involved?
So Movember itself is the world's largest men's health charity. We activate throughout the month of November to raise funds and awareness for men's health. We have three key cause areas: prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention, and really overall men's health. I think it's important when you think about Movember. There's going to be tons of awesome mustaches, but at the core of it, it's really about making sure men live healthier, longer lives. And the reality is healthier men positively impact all of us, however we identify ourselves. So it's something that does impact wives, children, friends, family. So really trying to make sure that men are living their best lives, and people can get involved. They can grow a mustache, they can move for Movember, they can host an event, or they can mow their own way, which is really a choose your own adventure type of fun way to really raise funds and just spark a conversation around men's health.
And you actually built Movember's Oil Rig Rumble Challenge. Can you tell us more about that?
You bet. So we launched this initiative back in 2022. We always had an incredible amount of support from Canada's energy sector. So we looked at kind of taking this to the next level. So we created this campaign really aimed at working with companies across Canada's oil, gas, and energy space. This challenge, it does raise a lot of funds. Last year was a record-breaking year. We raised $1.4 million, but it goes far beyond that. We're able to work with companies to amplify men's health information throughout their workplace. We almost use the fun of Movember and the mustache as a bit of a Trojan horse to open up those doors, and companies have been extremely receptive to it. But I think the best part of my job is going into these groups, talking to them, and hearing men become vulnerable and sharing their lived experience, and understanding that a lot of guys go through stuff, and instead of keeping it inside and internalized, getting it out and talking about it really makes a big impact. So we're doing our best to help start those conversations, and the fun and the funds have done a great job of following.
Yeah, you know, you look at the campaigns and some of the mustaches, and it seems lighthearted, but it really is delivering really meaningful investments to men's mental health and just health overall. Can you just tell me about some of the about new program investments in Alberta?
You bet. We've had a couple exciting ones this year. The first one is a partnership we have with the University of Alberta. So we're engaging with the U of A to get into Indigenous communities in rural Alberta that haven't had the best access to getting prostate cancer screening. So we work with U of A. We're going in, we're testing for prostate cancer, in addition to testing for diabetes and depression. So these are groups that a lot of data indicated they were catching prostate cancer a little too late. A big message we try to do is getting men in and catching it early on, so it's curable, and making sure that the treatment's as easy as possible on the man and their loved ones. So we've seen a lot of progress there. And then a brand new one that just came out is a partnership we're doing with the Western Hockey League through hockey. It's called Breaking the Ice. So it's a men's mental health resiliency program, teaching the players, coaches, and parents just peak mental health performance does help that on-ice performance. And I think as Canadians, we can all get behind our hockey players and make sure they're taking care of their health and well-being.
Evan, thanks so much for chatting with us today about this.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course. And this year's Movember campaign runs all November long. If you want more information about how to sign up and be a part of the movement, visit Movember.com.